and being very far from the grocery store, and I've had a lot of vehicles break down on me. Like I've had moments where I know I'm not going to have a vehicle for like 2 weeks because it's in the shop. So I say to myself, like, well, I'm going to take the time that I have with the vehicle, and I'm going to get everything that I can to make my life more comfortable at home, so that like I'm not wanting that I have everything that I need, you know. So that's just kind of like a different way to approach it. It does, though, however, make me wonder, why are we having this conversation? Why are two men who work 40 hours a week, you know, who go to work and do our jobs, having the conversation about what's the easiest way to stay at home when your vehicle's broken down and you can't afford to fix it?
Right. I mean, I guess your brain gets, when you've, this is just how it's always been, at least, you know, definitely between the two of us, where like this is the economy that we've been adults in, and this is just how it fucking works. Like your brain gets trained to think that way, where you're just thinking of like how to maneuver around that and not really concentrating on, wait, this is bullshit. Like why is this a thing?
That's that is such a great point, and I actually, wow, I haven't thought about this in so long, so I'm probably not going to speak too well like on statistics or anything like that. I just remember like the idea of it. But I had heard a story several years ago talking that actually delved deep into this issue that we're talking about now, and about how being poor, being broke, doesn't just stop you from being able to do things like make investments, right? Like, it funnels into every channel of your life to such a degree where now you can only think about how I'm going to survive to tomorrow. But on top of that, because you're not nourished enough, because you don't have enough, like, mental support, mental help, people in your life, because things break down, like when you don't have money, it's not just about like getting ahead, it's about all these little things that then come with it that make it even that much harder. So just like you said, like now all I can think about is, how am I gonna, eat tonight? How am I gonna, like survive tomorrow? What am I gonna do to fix my car? And so you don't even have the opportunity to think like, what's a good investment? How can I save my money? How can I, get ahead? Because you're just so focused on the idea of simply like surviving every day.
Right. It goes really back to like it's kind of lizard brain thinking, like as far as like it's absolutely instinct to just like it's survival. Exactly as you put it, it's survival. You don't have the opportunity to really sit and think while you're sitting at the kitchen table, like how bad you're getting fucked. Instead, you're thinking about how am I going to eat tomorrow? Exactly.
Yeah. Right. And then when you get into that mindset enough, and I think this is the scary thing, although I do believe that in general, like the public and even to some extent, like some corporations are waking up to it, just not the ones we really need to, like Amazon and Apple and well, Google's probably all right. Oh, just had something pop in there, but don't worry about that sound. They had somebody come up into the neighborhood too, so that got me a little bit off focus. But I think corporations are waking up to it. But yeah, I lost my point there for a second. The thing is that like we have gotten so beaten into just accepting this as the reality. That like we just literally, maybe I shouldn't say we, because there's several thousand people who didn't want to accept that reality on January 6th. Like, they're like, shit's fucked up. You know what, man? Like, it's hard. Like, let's make this a little more amped up, a little more fun than being sad about it. Like, as much as those people are fools and they're not, like, looking at where the problem actually is, you gotta take some, like, for people like us who are also in the rural living, fucking broke-ass, no good jobs, no life fucking living, like, scenario, you do gotta look at those people and go, well, at least they were trying to fucking do something about it. They're completely wrong, but at least they, like, fucking try.
Well, I mean, man, when you got a bunch of cannibalistic pedophile lizard people stealing the election, you got to do something.
You got to do something, and I agree. When that happens, you got to do something about it. I'll never disagree with when you got cannibal lizard people eating babies, stealing the election. You got to do something about it. It's just a shame that none of that's actually going on. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah. Is it a shame that that none of that's happening?
But well. I was kind of trying to speak from their voice, you know?
No, I know.
But yeah, well said, you know, but I just say, like, the thing that I want people to understand about all that, and as a country folk libtard, I like to call myself a lib-rural instead of a liberal. I'm a lib-rural, okay? And as a person like that,
nice
I do feel that I can bring some, like, levity to the conversation, because everybody who's normally having these conversations are people who are, like, city folk who only know about their problems and their existence and would never step foot in the country, and a bunch of country folk who would never step foot in the city. Not for one second. You know, like, neither of them want to experience each other's worlds or know what's actually going on in them. All they want to do is just fight it out on the fucking internet, you know? So, like, I would like to bring that clarity of, you know, like, there are people who have progressive minds that live in rural areas, and even the people who don't in rural areas are probably more like you than you realize, but they've got ideas that are correct, but here's the reason they're not correct. We've allowed those school systems to go to shit, just like we've done in the inner city. You know, we've allowed rural America to just, like, fall in the background. So now all of a sudden you wonder why a bunch of people who are already... Oh, here's a great story. So the other day I'm driving home, and I decided to take a little fucking detour. And as I'm taking my detour, I need to take a piss. So I pull down this country road just to, like, pull off the main road and, like, take, like, they're all country roads, but I pull off the main road to go take a piss. And I pass this fucking real nasty looking old Texas Chainsaw Massacre old man, like, fucking, like, on the road, like, the old road. And, I just pass him, I wave to him. I go until I'm out of his sight. I pull off to the side of the road and I take a piss.
For fuck's sake.
I turn around, and as I turn around, guess who's coming back down the road?
Fuck.
So yeah, we got disconnected there. So as I turn around, guess who's coming back down the road to see what the fuck I'm up to? Is this paranoid fucking old motherfucker like, why is this guy going down my road? There's only one more house, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I pass him, I roll down my window, and I go
highway.
Right, well, but no, I go by him, I roll down my window, and I slow down and go, just taking a piss. And he opens a wide mouth and no teeth and, you know, fucking yellow eyes and everything else, a big red nose. He's like, oh, okay then, oh, you know, and like, and then I continue about my day. And the point of that is like, yeah, people lose their minds out in the fucking woods. They truly do. And you fucking, like, you keep making things worse and worse and worse, and, like, thinking that the city's the only thing that's important, and you don't think these motherfuckers are gonna show up at your doorstep going, like, this guy's so paranoid. I'm just driving down his road. I was probably 3 miles away from his house. All I needed to do was take a piss. But he's like, who the fuck's going down my road to steal some shit, you know? And then, on top of it, why is he afraid people are stealing shit? Because guess what? There's people up here stealing shit all over the place. It's a real thing he needs to be worried about. Why are people stealing shit? Because we don't got any fucking jobs. You know, like, it's all a fucking circle, man. It's all a fucking big old circle jerk. That's what it is.
You lost me for a second, but I think I picked you up again. Not in the connection, I mean, just in the conversation. But, yeah. I mean, it sounds like he has a right to be paranoid if that is a problem up there. I get that.
Well, no, so this is my point. Like, it all goes around. So, like, you got one person paranoid about another person who's paranoid about this, but this other person needs something, and now I should be losing you. But, like, all these people are worried about protecting what they have or getting more than what they have. Meanwhile, there's no jobs paying people anything, yet there's oil fields making billions of fucking dollars around here, and there's plenty of money for everybody, right? There's a tourist industry that is insane. There's money being made, but yet you got this person looking at this person, looking at that person. Oh, are you the reason I'm broke? Are you the reason I'm broke? Are you the reason No. And we're all doing that, mad at each other, staring at each other, like when we're just trying to live our own lives, because the people at the fucking top are just taking everything. Do you get what I mean? And then, but it's not. This is where I get mad, though. The people in the country think it's the government because all they know is taxes. Like, they don't know, like, the reason truly why there's, like, fucking no good jobs, you know? And up here, like, it's not like there was ever a burgeoning factory industry or manufacturing industry like there is in Wisconsin. It used to be all about fishing, which brings us to an interesting point. Why aren't the fish coming in like they used to? Well, because of global warming. Why do we have global warming? Because of the corporations that you want to keep giving fucking tax breaks to so they can pull more oil but give no money to you for it. You know, so it's all fucking related. Every bit of it.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, like, as far as, like, there being no good jobs out there, I mean, that is a problem that I feel like especially rural people don't understand because, I mean, like, not to make it too personal, but, you know, I talk to, you know, conservatives like my dad or other people, and they're like, well, no one wants to work, but, you know, everyone's hiring. There's all these jobs available. But I try to just always counter that with, like, yeah, there's all these jobs available that, you know, $10 an hour, no benefits. Like, these jobs suck. Like, well, no, that's why no one wants to work them.
So that's actually, and maybe I'm fired up about it because I was listening to a TED Talk this morning about basically the history of the economy since 1920 and how we had gotten to where we are and how all those things like played out. So basically, after World War I, all these people had bought war bonds and then they got paid back in the 1920s and they thought, hey, this works really well. I'm going to get involved in investing. Well, they start, like, everything's going up like it is today, and they start investing in riskier and riskier assets. All of a sudden, the stock market crashes, everybody wants their money, they go to the banks don't have money, blah, 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 blah. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I don't know why I just spewed all that knowledge, even though it's not even knowledge, it's just something I heard. It's like I'm reciting It's Always Sunny to you right now, like as we were talking about before the recording even started. But the thing that this person on the TED Talk wanted to talk about was, it's not about whether there's jobs. It was literally the term good jobs. Just like you just said. It's not that we have a job issue. We have a good job issue. And it's up to the CEOs of the businesses to, you know, have fucking morals and say, do I really need to have $5 billion? Or if I'm Jeff Bezos, do I need to really have $400 billion myself that I'll never be able to spend? Or, you know, should I maybe fucking spread that out, you know, amongst, you know, my employees? And they even on this TED Talk, they had brought up a member of the Disney family, and she was talking, her uncle was Walt Disney's brother, or her dad was Walt Disney's brother, so Walt Disney was her great uncle. And she's talking about her father, who worked like higher up in the Disney company, like until his death in the 70s, and about how while Disney has a lot of problems racially, like if you look in the past and all that, what she's talking about strictly